Hi everyone, this is Arad from English for Everyone, and today I am answering a question asked by Amir, one of my students, who asked, what is to? Where should we use it and where should not? Well, actually, to is a preposition. Sometimes it's the second part of a, let's say, a two-part verb, or let's say a phrasal verb. A phrasal verb, a verb plus a particle or a preposition, let's say. So, or article, not an article, but a particle. We can call it a particle as well. So something like look at, look into, look after, look to. These things after look are the prepositions or particles, and they form a kind of phrasal verb. But today I'm not going to talk about phrasal verbs. I'm going to talk about places that we use to other than phrasal verbs. Okay? And the first one that I have chosen for you over here is the preposition of place. Okay? So we relate the place to the full sentence, to the other part of the sentence by this to. Okay? So I say she returned Nepal. No, I can't just leave it like this. I need to connect this place to this action somehow. So I make the place, the object of preposition. It appears after preposition, and when I have a place after this verb, I need a to. Like it can be any place or other verbs, but not home. Okay, so she returned to hospital. She returned to Nepal. She returned to library. She returned to her country. She returned to pub, but she returned home without to. Okay, so that is the only place. But other places we use to. And also it doesn't matter if I have, for example, went, that's the same thing. She went to Nepal. She came to Nepal. Okay, so that is all again the same thing. She wrote to Nepal. So this is the object, and to get connected to the sentence we need the preposition. So one of those areas that we use to is as the preposition for a place, and also preposition for a direction. Okay, imagine you're giving address to someone, you're giving directions to someone, you're telling them how to find or where it is located, the place that we're talking about. Then we use to. It's 5 miles to her house. It's 5 miles to her house. Okay, so you need to go that way to her house, towards. Of course, that is similar to this one. Anyway, we use to for as the preposition of direction as well. Okay, so these are really similar. And also telling the time. When we are telling the time, for example, I say it's 10 to 10. This one is the clock and this one is the minutes. It's 5 minutes to 10 o'clock. It is 10 to 10. Okay, so the remaining minutes to the next hour. So we use to over here as well. That's another area that we use to. Okay, over here again we have the same thing, and this is the duration. Okay, it can be a period of time within a week. I work Monday to Friday, or from Monday to Friday. Or a duration within a day. I work from 8 to 4. From a start time to the end time, finish time. Or I work, let's say, within a year. I work from May to September. So 2 months. Then we just put them in our sentence, separating them by 2. So that's the first one is the start time, the second one is the end. So they are related by that 2. So that's another area that we use to. And also, when we're talking about a particular time, when we're talking about a specific time in future, something that we expect to happen, something that is going to happen, something that is going to come, then we count the remaining minutes, hours, days to that specific time, just like this one. I just relate that to the sentence by a 2. So we only have 2 weeks to the new year. Okay, we only have 2 weeks to Christmas, for example, or another day, to my birthday, or another day. Okay, we have only 2 weeks remaining. This 2 is just telling us remaining. It's like saying remain. Alright, and the other 2 is the relation. Okay, it's to show the relationship. It shows the relation between the 2. My answer, that question. My answer to your question is no. Okay, so that gets related to the other part of the sentence by this 2. This is not direction, this is not a place, but this is related to that one. Okay, the specific one, specific answer to a specific question. So they are related. For like saying it's important to us. Okay, important to us. Something that is important to us. We use to show the relationship between that something that is important and someone that something is important to. So this is the way this is another area that we use to. And the final one that I have got over here, which is the most important one, I think, because I say this is the most important one because lots of my students make this mistake. So I can say over here, for example, I want to go to Florida. So go to Florida is like return to Nepal. So to over here is the preposition of the place. That's covered. We know this too. Well, I'm talking about this one. This one, something that happens when my students make these kind of sentences, they mainly make mistake by omitting this one. They forget this one and they say, I want to go to Florida. I want to go to Florida. Well, if you omit this one, if you not write this, or if you do not say this, then you have 2 verbs. 1 subject, 2 verbs. I want go to Florida. And when we do not have a subject for a verb, that is like an order. Okay, and we order you always. Okay, when I say go, I mean you go. Okay, so if I say I want go to Florida, it's like saying I want, now you go to Florida. It's not related to me. I want, that's finished. Okay, now you go to Florida. No, that is not what we want to say. And we make mistake by forgetting this 2. So if you do not have that 2, then you have another verb. But when we have this 2 over here, then this is the verb and this is the to infinitive. Okay, to infinitive is kind of the, let's say, the purpose of what we're doing. I want, or something that we are thinking of. So I want to go, then this is not, this doesn't need any subject. To go is not a verb to need a subject. Okay, I want to go to Florida. That is what is wanted. This is like a noun. I want an apple. Okay, apple is not a verb. To go is not a verb either. Okay, that is something that we think of. Alright, now these 2 are exactly again the same thing, and I have see and went. Some students forget this 2 over here and they end up having 2 verbs. Okay, I went out, this is me. Now you see my friend, because I do not have 2 over here. Okay, if I have the sentence like this, I went out, see my friend. I went out, see my friend. You see my friend. This is an order inside my sentence. That's not what I want to say. I need this 2 to make it correct, to just correct it. So I went out to see my friend. This is the purpose of going out. I went out. This is the purpose of going out. Okay? This is why I went out. This is the reason. Then what is as the infinitive is the reason for the action. Okay? And that is not a verb, and that is clear. So we use to just correct this mistake, not to just to say why, just to show our intention. Alright? I just called to say I love you. I just called, this is me, I called. Who did this? Who did this? Well, this is not an action to do, this is the reason. I called. Why did I call? To say I love you. Okay, so this is the reason for calling. Okay, so we use to infinitive after the verb, and that is the reason, that is the purpose, that is the intention of that action. Okay, so these were some of the areas that we used to, and the final ones were the most common ones. I hope this has helped this to get a bit more trimmed and a bit more classed. So now when you're making sentences, you can think of your to and check your to again if that is in the right place or not. Hope this is the case, and if there's any questions, just let me know by commenting it below this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.